Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back over on our YouTube account and I'm super excited for today's video because there was a lot of speculation and it has been laid to rest, guys. That is right. We are going to see the awakened version of Eironn is going to be the next awakened hero. It is going to be a Wilder like we had talked about, which means we have one left, which is going to be our Graveborn hero. But if you've ever played this game for a little while, if you've ever done the 5-pull, Eironn was an absolute monster and really meta for an incredible amount of time in AFK Arena. And it's very cool to see. A lot of players were thinking it was going to be Tassie or Saurus, but it is going to be Eironn. So we're going to run through the skills and abilities. They have a couple little pictures of him that I do want to share, but very, very cool to see that this is going to be the hero that we are going to be getting within AFK Arena. So let's swap over. Let's look at these skills and abilities. All right, so looking right here, Eironn, the Frostglade Paladin. So I do like this, how they kind of set it up. And you can see it is still a ranger. It is continuous damage. And then they changed it almost like an icy version of Eironn is what I'm kind of looking at, because the first skill is Glacial Bellow, passive. When an active skill other than a normal attack hits an enemy, it will apply a stack of Cold Snap Mark. When a second stack is inflicted, it inflicts the Crystal Cluster status on the enemy, which stuns them. So we got a crowd control just like we've normally seen from him. It lasts X amount of seconds, during which the enemy is immune to further Cold Snap, but the enemy receiving non-Dragon Speak damage or health loss from Eironn during this period, the crystal explodes, dealing damage based on his attack rating. Damage ignores defense, so tanks are going to get crushed by this hero. Neither Cold Snap Mark nor the Crystal Cluster status can be dispelled. Now that is just the passive ability when he is attacking. The active ability, he summons a Crystal Tornado that lasts so many seconds, moves towards the area with the most enemies while the tornado is active, pulls together enemies within range. So again, thinking of Scrath with the 5-pull, you could put everybody back into one pile of enemies for AoE effects. But it applies one stack of Cold Snap every second and deals so much damage of the attack rating. While the skill is active, he is immune to control effects. Only one Crystal Tornado can exist at a time, which is very cool. Level 2, the status cannot receive healing when the crystal explodes, so they are going to negate the healing, making PvP is going to be crazy. But look at level 3. Normal attacks can also apply the Cold Snap ability. That is going to be very, very cool. Going over to the right side for the Icy Strike, unleashes energy from his blade, inflicting health loss equal to X amount of the remaining health of each enemy hit. So I'm assuming that it can hit more than one hero or more than one enemy, which is going to be pretty cool. And then, of course, of the initial attack rating, but can't be less. So they even did a cap on the bottom. And it looks like signature item right there, 10, 20, or 10, 20, 30, and then 40. SI, maybe 10, 10, 20, 30, and 40. Wow. Wonder if there's two different level based on the signature item. For every Crystal Cluster explosion he causes for the next so many seconds, the attack rating is increased. He's immune to control. So this is going to buff his own attack rating in here. And then looking at the plus 20, upon entering the battlefield, he unleashes 2 tornadoes in front of him. The tornadoes will then converge on enemies within the range. So the 2 twin tornadoes are going to come together. Signature item 30, for every enemy the skill is inflicted, he recovers energy. And then 40, the blade's energy penetrates all enemies that pass through, inflicting health loss on everybody. Wow, that is kind of crazy. And their violent force deals damage equal to X amount of the attack rating to enemies within a certain range in front. If this damage causes an enemy crystal cluster to explode, it will deal blank less damage to Eironn. So again, and then the 3 of 9 and the 9 of 9 furniture. If the skill causes enemies to really blow up the crystal, then the next cast of an ultimate will not consume energy. 3 of 9 furniture, that is crazy. So he is going to be able to ult without using energy. Enemies with crystal clusters explode due to the skill will lose so much energy, and their buffer and damage resistance will be permanently reduced up to a maximum amount, cannot dispel it. So there's not going to be a way to get rid of that. Now, stunning Counterstrike. When receiving damage or health loss from an enemy within a certain range in front, rapidly blocks the attack and deals Dragon Speak damage. Wait a minute. So awakened version of Eironn is going to deal Dragon Speak damage. equal to so much of Eironn's attack rating to enemies within a certain range. This effect can be triggered once every so many seconds. Then we have the engraving 30. When receiving damage or health loss from a distant enemy in front, rapidly blocks the attack. This effect can be triggered every so many seconds. Each time a block is triggered, a stack of Cold Snap is applied to the attacker. And then, of course, the E60 Dragon Speak damage dealt due to the skill is increased by X amount. When blocking an enemy's, and knocks them back in stun. Wow, guys, we are going to have a lot with this hero itself, which is going to be crazy. And then it looks like it cut off the very bottom one, but it is Draconic Swordsmanship is the very last one. Let me see if I can read this one. When an active skill other than a normal attack hits an enemy, it deals extra Dragon Speak damage equal to so much of Eironn's attack rating. The damage does not apply an extra Cold Snap mark. Every time a crystal explodes, an enemy's attack rating is permanently reduced for a maximum of so many. So it is going to add on additional Dragon Speak damage when they are attacked with the Awakened skill. That is kind of crazy to think of the hero itself and how kind of effective. And this, guys, is brought to you by, as you can see right here, it is the Floof that is bringing this in here, the Floof Pyre with the data mining of the skills and abilities. So let me hop over, and I do have a Reddit page. This is actually where it was pasted this morning. So let me pop this over here so we can kind of take a look, because looking at Eironn himself, you can see it's almost like a winter skin. It's very similar to what he had before, but it also almost looks like he has one sword. He doesn't no longer have the twin blades. I don't know if the one sword went together to form one, but that is really cool looking. Then, of course, there is his avatar, which looks awesome. I mean, when you think about the pristine, how clean this looks, how well put together this picture looks, very, very cool to see that he is going to be the hero that we're going to see. It is really cool. And again, this was all data mined from AFK Arena, so we're going to have to see exactly how this story in here looks. There is the plate glass window that is coming, and you can see right here, that is the old school. It looks like the Forest Eironn into what he is today, and I'm sure the story on how he became exactly who he is and what he is today. But there's a lot in here. This is probably from the cinematic, I'm assuming, with him going in. And again, this looks like the older version or the original version before we actually seen him go to the frost or the frozen part. And that is really, really cool looking. I am impressed from a player that loved using Eironn with a 5-pull, everything else. It is really cool to see that this is the hero that they chose to actually build out, and that is probably going to be the animated avatar. I don't know if there's going to be kind of that piece around it, but really, really impressed to see that he is going to be the next one, and he looks really sharp. As it looks really, really cool to see how this hero is going to look. All right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about the new hero, and as always, thank you guys for watching.